Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us for our Game Week 15 review and our Game Week 16 preview show. I'm Chris, and with me is the man who's been raging about his wildcard since last night. It's Kieran. Hey.
Good evening, alright.
Yeah, huh? Right, so we've got a good show with lots to discuss tonight. Thanks to everyone for sending in their questions via Twitter. We'll be covering many of those topics. Mainly, we're going to be talking about how the Aguero replacements fared, the surprise team sheets, what to do with Arnautovic because he's been ruled out this evening. And then we're going to talk about our transfers, captaincy options, and differentials for Game Week 16. So I think to jump right into it, Keek, should we have a look and hear all about your pre-Game Week 15 wildcard and how that went down?
Yeah, so plenty changes since the actual preview video of Game Week 15. Yeah, chaotic week, and my wildcard obviously didn't go down as planned, and rotations everywhere, and my wildcard in the midst of that, and I think it's created more problems than it managed to solve, and yeah, a little bit worried going forward, unfortunately.
So you ended on 46.
Yeah.
The average was 45, so you were disappointed mainly about that, weren't you? What don't you like about it?
Well, obviously not having Kane, it was just a big poor decision, basically.
You went for Aubameyang instead.
Yeah, I did, and I figured Aubameyang would, continue his form. Obviously against United, I knew it'd be kind of tough, but I thought he'd get a goal, maybe an assist as well. And I figured Kane might start slow because he hasn't really had too much form, and I think be all right to leave out, but obviously not. Yeah, dropped to about 60k, and the plummet down the ranks continues at the moment. And I'm not expecting a good week next week either.
You're down. You're definitely down, but we'll boost you back up tonight. All right, we'll get you feeling good, and we'll talk about Game Week 16 a little bit more later. So just to touch on that, you had Sterling, didn't you, captain?
Yeah, and then vice was Aubameyang. Yeah, just not having Salah, not having Hazard, not having Kane. Not great.
Yeah, I mean, I think the captaincy was the main thing. If Sterling had played, you would have expected him to get returns. Maybe it's just that Aubameyang vice captain. If it was Sane, Wilson, even one of your new players, or Richarlison, you would have had a much better game week. So
yeah, it's true. It's true.
Maybe it was just the Aubameyang vice which let you down, like it did me a little bit as well. So ended on 64, a little bit higher. I had Sterling vice captain, Salah captain. So for 1 point, when the team sheets came in last night, I was a bit worried that I wouldn't get any captaincy returns. But Salah being Salah came on for the last 25 minutes and had quite a good impact. So he managed to pick up an assist. Pleased about that. Otherwise, yeah, it was quite a decent week. I brought Kane in as my Aguero replacement. I didn't want to captain him because in previous games watching I hadn't been so sure of his form, but he returned a nice goal and assist. Wilson and Fraser, goal and assist each, and Richarlison with a goal and max bonus. So yeah, it was quite a healthy offering really from all my players. And I think in defence, because there was no clean sheets, was there? Game week 15, it was quiet on that front.
No, the first time that's happened since 2010.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Week 15.
So who was my beneficiary in the defence? Oh, Doherty, who came on for Robertson and bagged an assist, didn't he? So yeah, I was pleased about that. So yeah, all in all, it was quite good. So I think we'll move on and talk about the Game Week 16 fixtures. And should we start off? We should start off Bournemouth Liverpool, the 12:30 game on Saturday. Sorry, Bournemouth Liverpool.
Huddersfield, not Liverpool. Oh, you're talking about Game Week 12. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry.
Carry on.
Game Week 16. You confused me there. Bournemouth Liverpool, the first game on Saturday. We've got to look forward to.
Yeah.
Heading into that one, I'm looking forward to watching Salah. Obviously, the issue which is going to be raised for many managers is the injury to Joe Gomez and how that might affect their defence. So we had a question from FPL Putting Out Fires who said, with Gomez injured, should we consider Lovren temporarily at just 4.9? It's also worth mentioning that Matip played, didn't he, for 4.9? So how do you think Gomez's injury, he's fractured his leg in that tackle from Ben-Mee, he's going to be out for 6 weeks. How do you think that affects their defensive sort of shape?
I don't think it's going to affect it too much. Obviously, he has covered kind of Trent as well, so I think Trent is going to be more nailed on now. But yeah, I think Lovren's managed to come in and keep clean sheets of Van Dijk before, so I'm not too worried about the defence. I think they should be okay. I mean, Lovren is one of the best defenders in the world, isn't he?
That's true, yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it'll affect them too much. Robertson's trained again today. He should come straight back in. So that's pretty much nearly their best back four. So yeah, I think they'll be okay.
What would you recommend for people who have Gomez? Where do you think is the best option there?
How much was he? He was 5-1, right?
He was, yeah.
Yeah, so you probably want to get 0.2 to Trent, really. Don't worry about trying to get Lovren or Matip because they'll probably rotate. So yeah, I think Trent is going to be nailed on because there's no Gomez cover to go into the right back, I suppose. Yeah, right back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Trent if you can. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't go with either of them because they're rotation prone, Lovren and Matip.
Yeah, no, I tend to agree. I think that Gomez has been sort of Trent's only threat, isn't he, at right back this season? So with him out, I think it's only Klein providing any potential backup. We haven't really seen him for.
Yeah, I mentioned that last night, didn't I? I was just like, where has Klein gone? I don't think he's injured.
Yeah, no, I just don't think he's just totally out of favour at the moment. So he might reappear on the bench sometime, but I'd expect Trent to play most of the games up over Christmas now.
He's young; he can deal with it.
Yeah, he's young. On the flip side of that, the prospects I'll be obviously looking out for Fraser and Wilson to continue their sort of good forms. Obviously, they've both picked up that goal and assist midweek against Huddersfield.
Yeah.
Wilson's had 103,000 transfers in this week, and he's now up to 8 goals and assists for the season, and that was his third double-digit score of the season. So yeah, he's proving great value, isn't he?
He is. Yeah. I kind of got him on my wild card, which is obviously a good decision, but got rid of Fraser, so I kind of swapped the two. I was thinking Wilson's probably a bit more consistent.
Yeah,
he's obviously up front. So it was a bit of sweet seeing Fraser do well because I was game week 1, and a bit frustrated. I lost. Well, not lost, but I got rid of about 0.4 in value from him because he went up to about 6.2. So I would have sold him for 5.8, and now I can get him back for 6.2 if I want. But that's feels bad getting him back for that.
It seems a bit counterproductive, doesn't it?
It does. But if he continues to show form throughout all these fixtures, I may have to get him back.
So your transfer, you got rid of Fraser, and sort of I'd say your replacement was Anderson, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah.
It was a bit of an upgrade.
Yeah. Well, didn't prove to be an upgrade this week, but his fixtures are still so good. So I would imagine he'll just get some consistent returns soon. Still good hopes for him. So sorry.
Yeah, well, I was pleased with Fraser. I mean, I got him in sort of as almost a 1 week punt a few weeks ago, which I always say and never really live up to. So yeah, Fraser's been in my team now for 4 game weeks. That was actually his first goal since game week 5. So he's been trotting along with assists for quite a while. So I think as my team lineup shows on the left there, I'm more than likely going to play both of them against Liverpool this weekend. I think that's just partly due to Gomez being out and the little bit of rotation, and that although Liverpool got the most clean sheets this season, I sort of fancy Bournemouth to nick something, especially at home. If they can get something away at City, I could see them scoring in this one.
I think it could go either way, honestly, that one. I think it could be a clean sheet or it could be a few goals for Bournemouth.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that game a lot.
Yeah.
So the first of the 3 o'clock games, as according to the fantasy website, is Arsenal Huddersfield. So do you want to talk to me about Aubameyang, because you've been talking to me today about how worried you are he's not going to start. He's now played 90 minutes in his last 4. You've got the armband on him at the moment. Is it going to stay there?
I have no idea. It would, history would say that he's going to be benched, right? Lacazette comes on after injury, comes on and scores, or obviously gets the goal taken away from him, but he made the goal, obviously. And Aubameyang had 2 good chances, 1 really good save from De Gea, but anywhere else he would have scored that. 1 nice shot from just outside the box. But yeah, I don't know. I keep saying Emery should play that 3-5-2. He played it both, but that didn't happen either. I don't know. I mean, I would assume he's going to be benched, and that feels really bad. What do you think?
I think you're probably over analysing it a bit too much. I think something you got to consider with Aubameyang is he hasn't had Champions League and he hasn't had many Europa League games this season. So comparing him to other strikers and other teams, so your Sterling, Salahs, Kanes, they've all played a lot more high intensity games than Aubameyang has this season. So I think he can probably manage. I think he'll definitely start against Huddersfield. Whether he plays the full 90, maybe not if he's played 90 in the last 4. But man, I think he's too good an option. I mean, you and what is it? Nearly 300,000 others have got him in. He's had like a triple rise, and he might even be on for another one before the weekend.
I saw he's due for another one, which is surprising me.
It's crazy. But it's that Huddersfield fixture, and I think don't overthink it and keep the faith with Aubameyang, to be honest.
I don't know. I think he'll be ingenuous. I think, Lacazette came on to do well, and we've seen him be benched before. Emery doesn't mind benching him.
Yeah.
And 4 games in a week, even if he has, well, not a week, but 4 games in a row, even if he has not been playing Europa, I think is maybe a bit much. But we've seen him do well from the bench.
I was just about to say that. I'm going to counter your negativity with his bench performances.
Yeah. But, I don't know if C's like captain there, like at Huddersfield at home, seems so good. But I don't know if leaving on him is wise. I don't have the best options elsewhere either because Chelsea plays City. Yeah.
Something to consider because Lacazette looks like he's coming back in now as well, doesn't he? So he's got a goal and an assist in the last 2.
Yeah.
He played 45 against Chelsea. Did he play the last half an hour-ish against United and got an assist last night? He could have got the goal. Is that right? Or did he get given the assist for the one that ran in off Rojo?
Yeah, just assist.
Yeah. Okay. So he looks like he's back in, but no, I think he'll definitely be interesting to look at Emery's formation this weekend. But I could see him playing 3-5-2 again with Kohler and Bellerin wide.
I hope so.
You hope so.
I really do. Yeah.
All right, on to Burnley-Brighton. We had a question in from Darlish BTW on Twitter who said, who should I get in for Glenn Murray? So Glenn Murray got his 8th goal of the season, didn't he, against Palace on Tuesday night. But I think he's hurt his shoulder, isn't he? So he looks like he's going to be out, and there's lots of options. And I think there's many people to consider replacing him with. If you were going to pick one right now, who would you suggest?
If he doesn't have Wilson, then Wilson. If you don't have Kane and you can manage to get loads of money, then Kane. But
he's going to be taking big point hits there.
Yeah, that range, I guess. If you've got 0.1 in your bank, Mitrovic is 0.8, isn't he?
Yeah.
So I think Mitrovic seems like the go-to. He's who I'm looking at as an Arnie replacement. So.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Mitrovic would be my pick there.
Mitrovic for you.
Last 3 and an assist. Seems to be doing well under Ranieri. He's getting support with Kamara now, so there's 2 up top. He's not all alone. And I fancy him to continue going after United. He's got great fixtures. And I don't think United's the worst fixture for him either. So, yeah.
Okay, all right. Sound advice on that one. So we'll see if, there's lots of transfers flying around at the moment with the Arnie replacements, and we'll talk about him and what that means for West Ham a bit later. But I think, moving on from Murray, I agree. Mitrovic looks like he could be a good option there. Should we just mention Burnley's form at the moment? Just the mass amount of chances they're created. I would imagine this will be would you say an away win for Brighton here? Or do you think it's going to be a bit tough for them with Murray out? I know it's an away game.
Well, that Andoni has done well, hasn't he?
He has, yeah.
But Brighton aren't so great away.
No.
I think they can maybe get a goal. I don't think it's a definite win. I think Burnley might get a goal. Barnes looked okay. I don't know if you saw his finish.
Yeah, it was very nice, wasn't it? That volley.
Absolutely really beautiful finish.
So,
Barnes was really good at the end of last season for people, wasn't he? And he's back off his injury now. So if he can get some starts, then maybe he can grab some form and do well for them.
They haven't had...
draw maybe a 1-1, something like that.
I doubt them, Burnley, a little bit because they haven't had a win since game week 7. I think it will be quite a close game because, like we say, Brighton notoriously aren't that good on the road. But Burnley need to start picking up points from somewhere. So this could be it this weekend.
And obviously Duffy is out for 3 games.
Yes, he is. Yes,
hard. But I like Balogun. He's probably nailed on for the next 3.
Mm-hmm.
He did well in the World Cup for Nigeria, I think it was. I quite rated him then.
Okay.
And he obviously came on and scored with his first touch on Tuesday or Wednesday.
I think it was Tuesday.
But yeah, he seems like a good option possibly for 3 games if you want to go for it. But and he's only 4.2. But the fixtures are pretty poor after Burnley.
Well, absolute budget friendly the option there.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. They sound like good options. Moving on to Cardiff and Southampton, I feel that I've got written down obviously the new manager bounce. They've got the new Red Bull Leipzig. Is that the team, isn't it?
Yeah, RB.
Yeah, Red Bull Leipzig manager in place. It seems like all the Southampton fans are really pleased about that, but I think I'd be pleased about anything after Mark Hughes, just because he's so miserable. So anything is a plus.
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting time for Southampton. I thought they played it. I watched some of the Tottenham game actually, and I thought they played quite well. And they were a bit unlucky in the second half. Lloris made a ton of saves, and they had some really good chances. Obviously, they scored right at the very end of the game, so it didn't seem like a 3-0 drubbing. Just on the bit I watched in the second half, I thought they played quite well. I mean, maybe the pressure was off, but yeah, the new manager's coming in at an interesting time. They've got Cardiff away. I'm sort of keen to pick up on Armstrong again. We mentioned him on Monday, and still 5-1. He was quiet in the Tottenham game, but you'd expect that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So 3 goals in his last 3, and if the manager's obviously coming in and Armstrong hits the ground running in that fixture, I could see myself being turned towards potentially upgrading a 5th mid, or maybe downgrading one to switch my team around a little bit, because I do quite like that option. They've got, after the Cardiff and the Arsenal games will be interesting barometer of how they're doing, and then they've got Huddersfield and West Ham after that. So
the score aren't too bad, are they?
No, they're okay. They've got City as well, haven't they, at home, which is a bit of a shame. But
and then Chelsea after City as well.
They've got 3 decent from this Cardiff game in the next 5. So But I want to see what the new manager makes a difference in that Cardiff and Arsenal game, and then maybe could be a 2-week punt for Armstrong in around Christmas time. So keep an eye on that one, and also Ings as well, because I think if he plays exciting attacking football, we know Southampton have been making the chances even under Hughes.
Yeah.
If he just makes them a little more clinical, just refines their attack a little bit, I think there could be some alternative budget options, especially to those Wolves boys.
They seem like they're hitting the bar and the post, and just in every game they've been unlucky, really. Redmond hit the bar. I think he hit the post as well, possibly. Yeah, he's been unlucky. He's a bit of a fantasy troll, but he's been pretty unlucky. Honestly, he's had good performances. Just the goals aren't coming.
If the goals were a little bit bigger in the game Southampton played in, Kieran, imagine how many they would have scored.
Yeah, absolutely.
They would have scored loads. Cool. So another 3:00 game to talk about: Manchester United against Fulham. So 2003 was the last time Fulham won at Old Trafford, and I think it's going to be 16 years lucky on Saturday.
Really?
Yeah, I just feel like. Yeah, I feel like Ranieri coming. I could see a Mitrovic goal in this one. I really can. United just seem all over the show at the moment. Every time I hear, I've been a big fan of Mourinho, obviously at other clubs, and so, most of the time he's been at Manchester United, but he's been grating me so hard recently, man. I don't know how the players have been putting up with some of the things he says in the press conferences after the game. So I know they made some awful mistakes against Arsenal, and De Gea and Rojo were to blame, but I don't know, it just seems like there's no confidence in the team at the moment. I don't know how you see it, but I think Fulham will be right up for this, and I wouldn't be surprised if they got a draw, nicked a point, Mitrovic involved.
I can't see them not scoring. I think Schürrle should be back, which may help or may hinder Mitrovic, depending on if he keeps playing Kamara up top with him. But maybe Schürrle plays up top with him as a sort of secondary striker as well. That might be all right. But yeah, I can't see United getting a clean sheet here, really. Fulham, new manager bounce doing well at the moment. Well-ish, anyway. Don't know, they might even keep a clean sheet against us.
Dread to think. The Chambers and Seri have made a bit of a difference to Fulham's defence. Chambers playing midfield seems to have made a positive impact there. I also want to shout out your boy since game week 1, Kamara, because Ranieri did talk about playing with 2 strikers up front, and whilst Kamara didn't play up front against Leicester, it seemed he was playing out on the right. He played the full 90, scored a goal. I think he got 2 bonus, didn't he, for 8 points? And I think he had 4 shots, so he's obviously getting into the right areas in that game. So, I mean, Schürrle may come back in because he was playing wide right, so Schürrle may take his position. But, Ranieri's mentioned that he wants a striker to play. So he played 45 away at Chelsea, didn't he? He played the full game at Leicester.
Yep.
Maybe Schürrle will come right back in, but let's wait and see on that one.
Yeah, slight regret getting rid of him on wildcard as well. I did sort of think he would get minutes, and he did. And just another sort of 50-50 decision that just didn't go right. And I was thinking that, he's probably not enough on a wild card. Like, he's 4.3, he might not get minutes, he's not nailed. Maybe I should, just get rid of him while I can. Yeah, just a silly decision.
Oh, it happens, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was just going to... Do you want to pick up on Martial? And it looks like he's got a bit of an injury, but he scored.
Yeah, I think they said that he's going to be fine on first Saturday. So,
okay.
That doesn't seem like it's too bad. I think he said it was like pre-injury, whereas he just sort of like felt something, like he was a bit tight. But he said that he'll be fine. He should train, and I think he should be fine for Saturday, basically. Martial in the right position, didn't do a lot else in the game, but in the right position to stop the goal. I don't know what the defence was doing at that point. Like they should have so many balls, so many players around the box, and when Herrera put it back in, they should have managed to get it away. But just good goal, decent finish. He marched on. A lot of people sold him, didn't they? But he should keep consistently returning, I guess.
I think it was a really chaotic game to try and analyse from a fantasy point of view. Like, it just seemed...
Not much quality.
No, exactly. It was a really exciting game to watch, but like you say, Martial, it was difficult to work out if that was form or he was just in the right place at the right time. And like, he had 2 shots on target, and it sort of follows a little bit what he's done in the previous games, where his conversion rate has been really high.
Yeah.
And he hasn't looked like extremely threatening, but when he's had those chances, he's tucking them away. So anyone that's got him and still holding on to him, I think it's one of those where don't be put off if he doesn't look that involved, because it only takes him sort of a touch in the box to score a goal, it looks like at the moment. So efficiency, but how long will it last? I think
Lingard did well. He was a bundle of energy. Good goal, really. Just ran and managed to get there first, didn't he? And you could physically see that United had less energy when he went off. Pogba just slows the game down so much, doesn't he? And Lukaku, did Lukaku come on? He did, didn't he?
He did come on.
Already. He looked poor as well, and just I don't know why Mourinho takes off the players that are playing well. It just doesn't really make much sense to me. Rashford had an okay game, and hopefully he continues benching Lukaku and Pogba, and I guess that's just the state United are in, that their massive signings are benched and not being very good as well.
Well, I think they both deserved to be benched, didn't they? After Southampton, they were both poor. So from a general point of view, I think it's the right decision, but it always raises questions when it's like big players on the bench, really.
Yeah.
Okay. West Ham Palace. Should we start by talking about Arnie? Because you've got him, and it looks like he's out now for, is it 4 weeks, maybe longer, with this hamstring issue? It's like he's been ready to be injured for about a month and a half, and now he's finally properly injured. So, what's your plans?
I don't know at the moment. It's either take him out this week and just get Mitrovic, which I'm not too sure about either. I feel like Kane is probably essential at the moment. So I'm thinking about a -8.
Okay.
Get Kane in.
After the wild card.
Yeah, I know. That's just how much has happened.
Guys, can I just say Kieran hasn't told me about these plans today. He usually says, "What do you think about this?" and he sends me team photos. Keith, this is the first -8. What?
There's
all right,
so many problems in this squad.
Break down the -8, please.
Well, let's talk about LA. Let's talk about Arnie.
Okay. Got to wait to find out. I want to talk about it now. Okay, all right, we'll wait.
Arnie transfers, yeah. I think Mitrovic is great. Jimenez obviously got his goal. He's an option as well. Ings, when he comes back, could be good.
Yep.
I think that's really about it. Chicharito, I don't really see as an option. He had 0 shots, 0 crosses, 0 chances created, 0 assists in 60-odd minutes that he played. And then Perez, who came on for Arnautovic, got 2 goals from 2 shots, 0 crosses, 0 chances created, 0 assists, anything else. So I think they're definitely not consistent. They're going to play, but their stats don't back anything up, I don't think. Carroll's obviously lurking in the background too. So, yeah, neither of those for me. I think Anderson is probably enough cover for West Ham in their fixtures and maybe a defender. I can't really think of anyone else. Maybe Lacazette, if you can afford to go up that high, or Kane, if you can get it and you don't have him.
I think they're all reasonable options. When I looked at this for you, because I was going to give you some suggestions on players in the similar bracket, I thought it'd be interesting because we're talking about Arnautovic as a sort of mid-price striker. What other mid-price strikers are offering their teams in terms of goal involvement? Okay, so
Wilson, obviously, I didn't mention him, but
Wilson, yeah, indeed. So the top 3 I picked out were Jimenez, Wilson, and Mitrovic. Okay, so Jimenez has had 9 goal involvements so far this season. That makes up 75% of his team's total goals, which is the most. Wilson and Mitrovic both involved. Well, Wilson's been involved in 16 of Bournemouth's goals, and Mitrovic has been involved in 9 of Fulham's. And both of them. That is 64% of their team's total goal output. So that shows in those 3 strikers are around the similar sort of price. Obviously, Jimenez is like 0.7, 0.8 cheaper than both of them. Jimenez is actually more involved in his team's goals than Wilson and Mitrovic. So from that point of view, it seems like saving money and increased goal involvement, Jimenez would be the best option.
Yeah.
But on the flip side of that, I think Mitrovic's fixtures after Manchester United are definitely what makes him a strong consideration, considering they play Newcastle, West Ham, Wolves and Huddersfield, with 3 of those 4 at home.
Yep.
And I think it's funny because although Jimenez is the best stats-wise, I'd say, Mitrovic is the best in terms of fixtures, and Wilson has got the biggest ownership. So there's reasons for and against owning each.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's made it any clearer for you, but
Jimenez, like, his fixtures aren't too bad. Like, There's Liverpool in Game Week 18.
Yep.
And then Spurs in Game Week 20, and then City in Game Week 22. But he does well in tough fixtures, like against Chelsea.
Yep.
So is that anything to put you off?
Not really. That would make me think I want him even more. Yeah, because if he's doing well, it means you don't have to worry about benching him for the big games.
Yeah, exactly.
And if he's having the most goal involvement and he's of those 3 and he's the cheapest, I think he would be my pick. Although it's funny because we were both saying on Monday that he didn't pass the eye test, did he, against Cardiff last Friday. But now it's funny looking stats based. It looks like he's well involved in Wolves' attack. I thought his goal was a bit fortunate, didn't you? Was it last night? Yeah, it was last night.
Keeping, really.
Kappa went for his legs.
Do you have any stats on Jimenez from the last game?
No, not off the top of my brain.
No.
That's the one I picked out as thinking he looked like the man.
I'm going to try and find them quickly.
Okay. Well, I'm going to talk about another differential for the West Ham Palace game while you do that, and that's going to be Snodgrass. So I'm sure when you were checking your phone religiously last night, waiting for those Anderson points to come in, you kept seeing Snodgrass come up. So been impressed since he's come into the side. So he's 5.3 million, owned by 0.4% of the game. So he's a super differential ahead of these good fixture run for West Ham. He sort of has been introduced into the team more and more since Yarmolenko picked up that injury and he's just got up to fitness. So 6 key passes last night, 1 big chance created, obviously the two assists.
Yeah, he's probably nailed on as well.
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, with West Ham's great fixtures, I think if you can't afford Anderson and you still want some West Ham coverage in the attacking sense and you haven't got Arnie, I think Snodgrass is a really nice option.
How much is he?
5. I think he's 5'3".
Okay.
Pretty sure he's 5'3".
That's not bad, is it?
Yeah, no, it's really good. Yeah, it is 5.3. So 0.453, he could be someone you could downgrade to potentially getting Kane. So with fixtures like Palace, Fulham, Watford, Southampton, and Burnley, I mean, that is a really great run of fixtures, isn't it?
I mean, I've been burnt by the West Ham double up.
Yeah.
in the one game, and I have been burnt by a lot of double ups this season.
Didn't I raise caution about the West Ham double up?
Yeah, it just seems like I just felt that Arnie was going to pull in that game, and he had a few chances before he went off, and I just thought he was going to pull. And Anderson assisted Arnie goal, I thought was just points. But, yeah, and those fixtures as well, just so good. But yeah, it wasn't to be, was it? Just that tough luck, really. If that wasn't really anything FPL wise or a bad decision, I think it was just
just unlucky.
Yeah.
Okay. The 5:30 game on Saturday is the big one of the weekend, isn't it? Really, Chelsea Man City. We had a question in from Lamella on I say because he's got two A's there. Lamella on Twitter, who said, "Is it time to move Alonso on?" So Chelsea have now lost 2 of their last 3 games. Obviously conceded 2 against Wolves from being in front. I feel like we get this question quite a lot with Alonso. And did you mention it last evening that you or definitely on your wild card that you thought he could be he's a bit of a cash cow to spread around? What do you think about him now?
I think it's viable to move him on, possibly. He has looked a lot worse recently. The past 2-3 games, is it? He's looked quite poor. And Willian Hazard and stuff like that being on the pitch, he doesn't seem to be getting, and Louise as well, he doesn't seem to be getting any free kicks either. He's had 1, I think, this season, maybe less. So yeah, 6.8 that I can sell him for. He's 7.1 to buy. Yeah, if you can get maybe Louise as well, 5-6, but Louise didn't play the last game. I don't know if that's just rotation.
I think it was just rotation, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's possible to remove, but at the same time, he's had 2 bad games. He's the highest scoring defender in all of FPL.
Yeah.
We know he can return. We know he's got it in him. So the second you get rid and he does anything, he's got such a high ownership, you're going to feel really, really bad. So I, at the moment, I'm probably going to keep him because I can downgrade Trippier, who's going to be out for a while. So he's my one to downgrade, not Alonso, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. He's one to keep for me. As soon as you get rid of him now, that his ownership is so high that you're just going to be cursing your luck. It is true that during the start of the season, maybe the first 8 or 9 games, Chelsea's sort of expected goals conceded was a lot higher than they were actually conceding, whereas now it seems like it's levelling out and they are conceding the number of goals related to the big chances they're letting in. So that's why Chelsea have not kept a clean sheet didn't keep a clean sheet against Spurs, did they? And they didn't keep one against Wolves the past 2 away games. I wouldn't have thought they'd keep one at home against City on Saturday.
Probably not.
But yeah, after that they've got Brighton, Leicester, Watford, and Palace. So it's a friendly run. I think you'd be a bit ill-advised to take Alonso out there.
Those 4 after City are just... Yeah. You got to judge him on that, I think. Let's see how he does in those 4 or 3 or 2 of them, possibly. And then judge it. If he's not, if he's had, then yeah, feel free to get rid.
More points for me, I think, is the thing. If you get rid of him, more points for me. So are you looking forward to this game? What are you expecting in terms of result?
I think you were thinking of City smashing them, weren't you?
Yeah, I think they will. Yeah.
But I'm not so sure. I don't know how Sterling will do. I assume he'll come back in. I don't know whether I should captain him. That seems maybe a bit silly. What do you think?
I have thought about captaining Sterling for this one, which sounds strange. Away against Chelsea, you'd expect it to be a tough game, but I don't know. Chelsea looked quite poor against Tottenham. Like they blew them away, didn't they? In the first, 15, 20 minutes. If City start like we know they can, I think Aguero being back is a big difference. City were really slow the other night against Watford. I know they changed the team around a bit, and obviously Sterling didn't play. But I think if they've got Aguero back in the team, fit and firing, and Sterling and Sane both play, Silva plays, and Laporte's making better transitional plays out from the back in terms of increasing the ball through midfield to Fernandinho, Gunnar down. I think they could really cause Chelsea problems, and I wouldn't be surprised if they scored a couple, maybe even 3 goals.
Yeah, I can almost definitely see Sane benched and see Sterling on the left and Mahrez on the right. I think that's how it'll line up, and then Maguire up top. Probably Silva and Fernandinho, I suppose.
Yeah. No, I think, I don't know, on Sane being benched, I think he'll play, but I think he'll come off. He's just been so good recently, and they haven't got any.
So Sterling, he got benched.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit different. It was against Watford. I'm talking like this is a big game, and Chelsea know if they can. I think the gap is already 10 points, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's more important that Sane plays in this game and potentially misses the Champions League game on was it Wednesday or Tuesday?
I think they've already qualified for that, haven't they?
Yeah, so I mean he'll get a rest then. So I would have thought
that's quite true.
He goes hell for leather in this Chelsea game, just extends the gap between them.
Yeah, big game's probably not the time to be benching.
No, exactly. Yeah.
Sane does seem to be vital on that left side as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, there's no one like him who's going to provide the width on that side and the pace. So.
Do you not think Sterling does a good enough job on that side when he goes there?
Yeah, I think he does. I think they both play, but I don't know. I feel like the reason I think they'll both play is because of how quickly Spurs came out of the traps and did damage against Chelsea 2 weeks ago? I think it was, when Son played up front. Chelsea just couldn't handle them, could they? He was making runs in behind and just causing them all sorts of trouble. And I feel like Sane could do the same.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think he would make more of a difference than Mahrez playing and Sterling playing the other side. So, we'll see.
Well, we'll talk about Sane a bit as well as part of this possible Wednesday.
Yeah. Because he's only 9. Well, you want to talk about him when we do our team review at the end?
Yeah, I suppose we'll talk about transfers. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, he's only 9 points behind Salah now, Kieran.
Okay, fair enough.
9 points behind Salah, and yeah, I think it was an interesting one. We talked about Laporte, didn't we, a couple of weeks ago before the West Ham game, that we thought he'd be more susceptible to rotation.
Yeah.
And so it's come to be, than Edison, and so it came to pass this week. And I mean, he came off the bench for that solitary single point.
I was happy about that. There's one good thing about this game week.
Yeah. It was just a bit irritating, really. So, one of my things I'm thinking about, I'm sure a lot of others are, that haven't got Edison, is swapping Laporte for a more attacking defender and then upgrading Hennessy to Edison. Yeah, exactly. Until Mendy's back potentially.
Yep, like it.
Okay. Leicester and Spurs. We're going to talk about them now. So that's the Saturday night football game. We had a question in from Sam Jr. Offs1. I'm having a lot of fun reading these Twitter handles out, but we're going to call him Sam Jr. All right. Official. God, we need to be official, Keek, don't we?
We do.
FPL Cougars official. Chris official. Kiki official. All right. Okay, so he said, what do you think about Spurs rotation? Surely Kane can't play every game as well as a Champions League game. Is anyone nailed on to start in the midfield for Premier League games? What do you think about that? And who is nailed?
You'd assume Kane is nailed, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he does need a rest. Like Leicester away seemed like a good time to do it when they got Barcelona away, and they have to win it to go through. You want him fresh, wouldn't you? Really?
You'd think so. But Kane,
But
it's funny. Kane plays.
He does.
Just it. Like they're 3-0 up against Southampton the other day, or last night, and he didn't come off. He played the full 90. You'd think that is the perfect time just to give him, 20 minutes rest? Maybe even half an hour rest if you thought the game was won. So, man, I think
he must give Poch some special favours or something. Like, he's just, I don't know what he's doing.
No.
Like, no other people are, like, just immune to rotation. Like, why Kane? Like, plays all the games for England as well. He just does not get any rest, ever.
Because he's just such a top goal scorer. He can score and assist at any time, Kieran. Like he did against Southampton.
So yeah, he'll probably play.
Yeah, he'll probably play. I think he'll play 90 as well. In terms of who's nailed on in the midfield, I was actually quite surprised that Ali got rested. And,
I thought Ali would be rested, honestly.
Oh, okay. Do you think that means that Eriksen probably gets rested against Leicester, and that's where he keeps the team fresh?
I reckon Eriksen will probably play. Son might get rested. More. Is Lamella back yet? I'm not sure.
No, I don't think he is.
Okay, so yeah, maybe Eriksen.
I think Son will get rested against Leicester, and he'll be a big part of their plan against Barca.
So, yeah, so you do think Son will be rested?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's just you can't really say any of them are nailed on. See those attacking ones anyway. Mora not nailed, Ericsson not nailed, Ali's clearly not nailed. He's just been rotated. Same as Sun, I think. You've seen before, the Sun has barely played this season, so yeah, none of them are nailed. But just with City, if you're happy to have them on the bench in one game and hopefully get big returns the next, then possibly just deal with it and go for them.
Yeah, I think it's not a bad way of looking at it. It's just they're a little bit more pricey and, well, maybe not pricey, but their price to potential points isn't as high ceiling as the City players.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see your interest there. Do you want to talk about Madison trolling us once again?
Yeah, second goal in 2 games, isn't it?
Yeah.
He was having a lot of shots. Looks really good in that game. Yeah, his set pieces are really good as well. And yeah, I wish I never got rid of him.
I know. It's just I don't know. It's one of those things with fantasy. I'm pleased with my team, and I couldn't see him back in there. But it's typical. He burnt a lot of people with the red card. Well, yeah, getting the red card and getting people -2 points, and obviously that injury just before the international break and the game against Burnley, and then typically, after the mass exodus he's gotten, had 2 goals back-to-back games, 1 big chance created, 5 key passes, so he could have had that goal and assist in that one. And would have been even tougher. Before we move on, I just wanted to talk about Son really quickly in terms of his numbers. So in his last 4 matches, he's had 13 shots in the box, 10 of those on target, and 8 big chances. So 8 big chances, and he's posting up some big numbers.
Yeah.
I think he's definitely worth considering as a double up on the Spurs attacking players with those fixtures. But it's just a question of when you get him in. I think see how the dust settles after this Barcelona game and what his minutes look like against Leicester. But he could be a nice differential over the Christmas period.
Yeah, we've seen him do well before, haven't we? Historically, he's been good for Hull. So yeah.
Yeah. No, very good. Okay, Newcastle against Wolves is the 4:00 game on Sunday, and we had a question come in that said. Oh no, we didn't. We didn't have a question on this one. Sorry. I was just going to start by talking about Doherty. So, after my plan last week of getting rid of him for Trippier, after their lack of clean sheets, he's now gone and got a goal and assist in his last 2 games, and that's 5 goal involvements now for the season. So, I think now for a while he's not moving from my team. He's got some all right fixtures on the horizon. So
I should have stuck to what I said and the preview show. I was like, oh yeah, I'm keeping Doherty. At his price, and then. You convinced me otherwise. You were like, "Oh, yeah, I was going to get rid of him."
Well, I was honestly, I was going to get rid of him.
Yeah, you were just like, "There's probably going to be 1 clean sheet in the next 4." Yeah, all right.
There still might be 1 clean sheet in the next 4.
Yeah, true. But he's getting assists and he's got goals. So I don't know. And yeah, I got him for 4, 6 maybe. So and then to buy him back now for 5, if I want him, that feels bad again. Just another bad decision.
So be pleased with the team you've got. All right, we'll talk about Digne and his performance in a minute because I think he's got the potential to crack on right now and sort of match Doherty for his involvement. So yeah, we'll see about that one. Jimi is the other one to mention. We talked about him earlier, didn't we, when we were talking about Arnautovic replacements. He's up to 15% ownership now, 6 million, and that was his 5th goal involvement in his last 5 games. So I think away at Newcastle is another chance for him to. Yeah, make it 6 and 6 at least. 6 and 6 goal involvements. So,
Nevers should be back as well in the middle of the park. Feeding some balls to him. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that. Seeing the result or outcome of that game because I think Rondon looks like he could be a threat again for Newcastle after that goal and scooping the max bonus points for in the game against Everton.
Bennett came back in as well. He's very good. Made some clutch tackles to stop a few goals at the Chelsea game. I think he's definitely won his place back. But there's no reason he's going to be dropped again. I think he looks great. 4.2. That was a possible downgrade for me for Trippier, just for freeing up funds. I'm thinking about that.
Okay. Yeah. No, I think it's good that he got back and he'd done well. He had that great last ditch tackle, didn't he?
Yeah.
In the game, so yeah, no, pleased for him. All right, do you want to call a winner in that one? Because I think that would be quite. It's funny. I think that'd be quite a good game. Wolves Newcastle.
Couldn't call it. I think a draw.
Okay, all right. I think it might be quite a high-scoring draw. Funnily enough, I might go for 2-2 in that one.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think it could be a good game. Okay, the Monday night football, the one which rounds out the weekend, is Everton against Watford. So we've got eyes on Richarlison, both of us, and you've got eyes on Digne. And I just wanted to first start by mentioning Dean. Sorry, yes, yeah. Dean. I like Digne. Okay, start by mentioning Richarlison. How much he benefited from being played out wide against Newcastle. So he had more shots and successful dribbles in 70 minutes on the left than in the previous 3 matches up front combined. So I think that's food for thought for Silva, because although he played well in those games up front, he's really made a difference being back out on that left again.
You're going to hope he's not stupid and he can notice things. So he must have the stats being fed at him all the time, right?
Mm. Yeah, no, you would have thought so.
Tosin had some good chances as well. He could have got on the score sheet. He played all right.
Yeah.
So play Tosin. Why not?
I think the changes came about because he wanted to freshen up the team.
Yeah.
So Walcott got rested, didn't he? And Bernard got rested as well. So a bit of a change
as well.
Yeah, a bit of a change in shape up front. It remains to be seen whether Silva reverts back to tie with Richarlison up front for the away games, because that's where it started. But yeah, fingers crossed he plays back out on the left. What would you say about Dean then? Were you impressed with what you saw of him?
Yeah, it was 2 clear-cut assists wasted by Tosin and Sigurdsson, I believe.
Yeah.
So yeah, and just Rondon had to go and ruin the clean sheet as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think he could have been on the big points, and I'm hopefully expecting some more. I think he'd probably keep out Watford. Don't see why not. Pickford don't make any mistakes. And I just want to see him get an assist converted or a goal. That would be great. And take a few more. He was taking a lot of free kicks as well, actually, from the left side, and Sigurdsson was leading him to it. Yeah, fingers crossed. Hoping for lots.
I agree. I think he's really sort of coming up to speed now, and if his heat map was showing us anything, is that he was trailblazing down the left, like it was burning up, sort of like in the final third of Newcastle's half on last evening. So yeah, 2 big chances created, and I think Dean looks good for continuing these. I don't know. He just needs to get something, and then everyone's going to wake up and think, okay, that he's a real option now, and he's saving me some money on a potential big hitter.
Whenever it's low scoring as well, he's great for bonus.
He is,
loves bonus, and if he ever gets any assist or goal or whatever, he'll be on nice bonus.
Yeah. Everton's fixtures do turn a little bit, don't they, after this Watford game, and get a little bit trickier, I think. They got City and Tottenham back to back for 17 and 18, but after that they got Burnley and Brighton, so it's a bit of a mixed bag.
There for me because he's 4.9 his price, and he was possible to bench from those 2. But obviously now that I've had injuries, I may just have to play him. So it's frustrating, but it's just how it is, I guess.
It's one of those things, exactly. I think if he was any more than 5, if he was a 5/5, you wouldn't ever want to bench him. But the fact that when you got him, he's sub 5, I think you could have felt comfortable with benching him away against those tougher teams.
Yeah.
Cool. And I just wanted to finally mention success, because he played 90 minutes again against City, and it looked like he played more wide, cutting in from the right. But it's good that he is another cheap striker option 4/5 who has been on my bench, and he came on due to auto subs this week. But if you're looking for a playing striker who is not going to set you back a lot of cash, then success. I'm also mentioning this so everyone buys him and I get some price rises. So buy.
Actually didn't do much. I thought it was kind of lucky to be starting at the moment.
Yeah, he's
not doing much.
No, he isn't. No, but he's good
I
bench
think it's
fodder.
a matter of time before Gray gets a chance again.
Let's see. Okay, we're going to jump into our general preview now. I've got a few more questions to run by you. The first of which is a captaincy question from FPL JK, who asked, who is likely to get more minutes and thus likely the better captaincy option this game week between Salah and Aubameyang? What do you think on that one?
Probably Salah. I think this is quite a big game for Liverpool. They definitely want to win it, and Bournemouth are flying at the moment, aren't they?
Yep.
So yeah, difficult game for them, and I think Salah's nailed on to start and should play the 90 really. I think Klopp can see that Liverpool weren't that great without Salah, without Mane, without Firmino on the pitch. So yeah, I think they'll play close to full strength, if not full strength, against Bournemouth, and Salah should play 90. And Abba, like we discussed before, not sure.
Yeah, totally agree with you. I think what swings it for me with regard to Salah and Liverpool on Saturday is if they beat Bournemouth at lunchtime, when the Chelsea-Man City match kicks off, Liverpool will be top of the league, won't they? So I think from a psychological point of view, I think it'd be a great impetus for Liverpool to get that early game done and get the 3 points secured. So I think they are going to be going all out to win that one. I mean, as they would anyway, but I just think such is the fact that they could put pressure on City. Salah's got to start, and I think he's going to be key to them doing well. They have got that must-win game, haven't they, against Napoli in the Champions League in the week, but yeah, I think if they can get their week off to a good start by beating Bournemouth.
They've done Saturday to Tuesday or Wednesday before, haven't they? So I don't think it's really a problem.
No, I agree. Kane was a sort of a strong consideration for captaincy for me as well this week. Base that on the fact that how many goals he scored against Leicester. I think it's 7 in his last 3 games. But there was that freak game, wasn't there, where he scored like 5 goals in one game against them, or 4 goals.
Was it really?
Yeah, he scored a lot in one game, like the season before last, in a double game week. So that stat is skewed a little bit, but he does like playing against Leicester. So the reason I'm probably going to go for Salah over Kane, really goes with what I just said in terms of Liverpool must win. And the fact that I think Leicester is a more tricky away tie, and they've got Barcelona, 48 hours or 3 days later. So I looked into the number of shots conceded for both teams at home. Leicester only averaged 10 goals conceded. 10 shots conceded per game this season at home, whereas 14 for Bournemouth. So I think Leicester's fans are probably.
Spurs are going to be up for it. I think they're going to want Kane to be on fire for that Barcelona game. So Kane can bag a hat-trick and be super confident going into that Barcelona game.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I had Salah and Kane, I think I might lean towards Kane because he's on more form generally than Salah.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. It's interesting. The fact that he has more money as well, it's strange not to... Sorry, or he is 12.5, and Salah's... I think the ownership is quite interesting as well, because Kane's nearly up to 30-something% now. Is he 31 maybe, was last night? Salah's on about 34, so I think the ownership factor is quite high. I think they will be... Those two and Aubameyang are the 3 obvious captaincy choices this week. And I'm happy on Salah at the moment. I don't see myself changing it, to be honest.
Who do you think I should captain?
Yeah, definitely Aubameyang.
Okay.
Definitely Aubameyang. I'd even consider Richarlison as your vice rather than Sterling. Despite what I say about Man City scoring, I think he's just a safer vice captain, really.
Yeah, you want a vice to be safe, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. That's the main thing about the vice captain, safety, which I've fluffed up this week because really I should have put the vice captaincy on Kane rather than Sterling.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's
on Wilson. I would have done. Yeah. I would have had a decent game week if I on Wilson. Yeah,
that's the way it goes. Okay, we had another question from who was it from? It was from I didn't write down who it was from, so I'm sorry. But it was an interesting question about Hazard, because you and I have both moved on from him. And he said, after so many people moved on Hazard, he's now fit and has good games from game week 17. Should people have been so quick to get rid? Because he personally held on to him. Hazard got the assist last night, and I also thought that Bolly's tackle on Morata should have been a red card and a penalty, which you would imagine Hazard would have taken. Yeah. How do you feel about Hazard at the moment? Because he's been quiet, but he's, like Sarri said, he needs a couple of games to get back, and the couple of games were the one against the home game they played at the weekend against Fulham, and then this away game they played against Wolves. He's got back-to-back assists. You think he's reappearing a little bit, or is he too expensive for you to consider now?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't go there again because I've just been priced out, really. I think it would have to be Sterling out for him. And Sterling's in such good form. But yeah, I do sort of agree with him going out too soon. Maybe we should have kept on with him. But those minutes of him just being so trolly and being slightly injured and off form, you can't sit around with that much value and price doing not much really. You kind of have to move. Yeah, hindsight really, isn't it? Like you see players performing elsewhere and then Hazard blanking for weeks on end. It's natural to move, I think. Yeah, not sure.
I can understand why, like you say, I can understand why a lot of people left him, and I include myself in this. It was just because he wasn't getting the goals and he looked like he was still suffering from that back injury.
Yeah.
Whereas now the last 2 games have shown he's getting a little bit more forward. He's notching these assists, but I think until Chelsea's attack really starts firing, I wouldn't want to bring him back in. Morata and Giroud are just not proving to be good forwards, and it doesn't feel like there are many goals in the Chelsea team at the moment.
True.
So I feel like they're probably, maybe losing a bit of confidence, which could explain these sort of back-to-back 2 away losses. The fact that they're not scoring a ton of goals, and
you think Sarri's going to want to just get them up for the next game for City at least? Maybe Hazard goes big in the City game.
Well, Jorginho had the rest, didn't he, against Wolves?
He did.
So
yeah, Hazard likes a big game.
He does like a big game.
Or he can disappear in it. So it can go either way.
I think at the moment he's too expensive for me to be going either way. I'd want a surefire player that I can,
Sterling and Sane seem to offer more points anyway.
They do, yeah, they do. Okay, so should we talk about your transfer? I'll talk about my transfers really quick because they are very quick, and then we'll just talk about your crazy -8 idea. My transfer plans this week are to hold my transfer and not do anything, and save it for next week.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's me.
Okay. All right. So I have 2 options as -8s at the moment.
Okay, lay it on me.
So Arnie for possible Kane. Yeah.
Okay. Look, how are you going to get there?
So Trippier would go to Bennett.
Okay.
And then Sane.
Oh, you've only just got him.
No, would have to like someone like Schürrle.
No.
It's the only money I have anywhere to be able to get to Kane, right? The other option is Arnie to Kane, Trippier to Trent, and Sane to Camarasa.
Sorry, what was that one? Arnie to Kane.
Arnie to Kane, Trippier to Trent,
right,
and Sane to Camarasa would be a 4-3-3, and the other one would be 4-3-3 as well.
I like the second one more with Trent, if I'm honest.
Yeah, and Camarasa has been, Warnock has said that he's going to take the next penalty. He's on corners, he's on some set pieces. So he seems like a good 4th, 5th, even 4th midfielder at the moment. And then, yeah, that's what I've seen so far. Because Richarlison out or Anderson out, don't give me enough money.
Don't give me enough money.
Aubameyang out for the game.
Seems ridiculous, so no.
Yeah, ridiculous. Or I can just do Arnie to Mitro or Jimenez. But yeah, I was saying to you earlier, I'm possibly having only 9 out if it goes wrong. 9 players. So Trippier out. Who else was it? Sane's might get benched.
No.
Benched. Arnautovic is out. So that's possible 9. Alonso might not even play.
You're too negative about your team. What? You've only just done the wild card and you're doubting them all.
There's possibilities here that they could realistically happen.
Oh, no. Okay, I would say of your transfers or transfer plans to get Kane, which seems a little bit knee-jerky to me because he's so expensive and he hasn't really been rocking it. If you compare his price to Sane's price, I like the second option better, the Trippier to Trent, Sane to Casemiro, and Arnautovic to Kane. It does make sense because you keep your Man City coverage in Sterling, and you double up on Liverpool's good defence, and there's not much you can do about Trippier and Arnie because they're both potentially out anyway.
Exactly.
So I think of the two that is better, but it just seems to me like you're moving on a little bit quick from Sane.
It seems like it's now because that Sane is the most chance of being benched in this game, right?
Well, yeah.
So,
but he has good fixtures after that.
Sane will probably come back and play. You know.
Well, that's the thing. But after that, Man City got back-to-back home games against Everton and Crystal Palace, and they play away against Leicester and Southampton.
Yeah, so I'd rather not see him benched there either, would I? Because he's got great games to try and get some.
It sounds like you're really worried about the benching of Sane.
Yeah, I think I'll probably not do that and maybe get Jimenez, I don't know, Mitrovic, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Those two, like, that's another 50-50 that could go either way, and I'd be ruining if I get it wrong.
It gives you lots to ponder, but if it were me, I would probably play it and get rid of Arnautovic for Jimenez.
I mean, I might take a -4 anyway to get rid of Trippier.
Okay.
To Trent, maybe. But then double pull defensively doesn't seem great either.
It sounds like there's lots of thinking still to do. If people have got any ideas about Kieran's team, then please put them in.
Like I said, the wildcard has made more problems than it's solved.
Well, yeah, put them in the comments below or tweet us at FPL Cougars and see if you can, 1, cheer Kieran up, or 2, give him some ideas on his team, okay? Because I've been trying to tell him that his team isn't bad. One bad game week doesn't make a bad wild card.
If Aubameyang had just scored those 2 goals,
you would have been fine.
I would have been absolutely fine, and I'd have been happy, and I would have thought, oh, he's going to play, he's in form. And that was basically the crux of the bad wild card and bad game week.
Yeah. All right, should we just mention, because we didn't talk about it earlier, and I'm pleased, that I'm now up to 47k in the world. And
taken me.
I've overtaken you, and you're down at, what, 60-something now? Which you're making out, exactly 60, which you're making out is really bad, but it's really good for smart.
Nearly 6k.
Still in,
60.
Still inside your target for the season. So yeah, we're both on track at the moment.
Well, the target is 10k, not 100.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you've got time to do it. We're not even halfway through the season yet.
Yeah.
Come on, go get that positive attitude. All right.
Yeah, I'm feeling alright.
Okay, it's feeling alright. All right. Okay. Right. So should we just pick out a clean sheet each? I want to hear your clean sheet before we say goodbye to all our lovely followers and watchers and listeners around the globe in your ear holes. What? Sorry. Fulham? No! I'm not sure I can accept Fulham.
Sorry.
All right, Fulham. Okay, I'm going to say Everton. I'm going to say Luke Dean is going to have a good game. I reckon he's due a clean sheet. And I reckon this is the game against Watford. He's going to get some attacking returns. So
Mina's going to screw Deeney. He's going to bully him.
Okay, we'll see. All right. I can get down with that. Cool. All right. So I think that's all, isn't it? Wraps us up.
Yep.
Thank you for you, listener, for joining us. We'll be back early next week with our Game Week 16 review show, and it'll sort of / Game Week 17. We'll be looking ahead to that one. If you've got a pressing question about your team, or just in general you want to ask us about anything you like, life advice, team advice, just tweet us or comment on the YouTube video, and Kieran and I will try to answer your questions. If you haven't already subscribed, please do join us, and if you haven't liked the video, do that as well, because it makes us feel good, makes you feel good, and all that lovely stuff. Cool. So until next week, enjoy Game Week 16. Captain Salah, or don't, Captain Aubameyang, and it's goodbye from me.
Goodbye, and I'm praying for a green, please.
Cheers then, bye now.